Here are the 6 players that I believe are the best offensive fits coming out of this draft class and the ones that I'm most excited to watch next year. Starting at number 6 with Dalton Kincaid going to Buffalo with the 25th overall pick. If the Bills learned anything last year, it's that they need to give Josh Allen more weapons. And after 4 wide receivers got drafted before they were on the clock, they decided to take the best pass-catching tight end in this year's draft class. Running a 2 tight end system with Kincaid and Knox will bring a new dynamic to this Bills offense, especially in the red zone. At number 5, I have Michael Mayer going to the Las Vegas Raiders with the 35th overall pick. Going into the draft, Meyer's player comp was George Kittle, and now he gets to go into an offense that features the same quarterback that was throwing to George Kittle for all these years in Jimmy Garoppolo. The Raiders also traded Darren Waller in the offseason and lost Foster Moreau to free agency. So Michael Mayer comes in feeling a huge need at the tight end spot, and his ability to block for Josh Jacobs is certainly an asset. At number 4, I have Rashee Rice going to the Kansas City Chiefs with the 55th overall pick. Look, if we're being honest, I think at this point, any wide receiver that the Chiefs drafted would be a weapon for Patrick Mahomes. But they really hit the nail on the head by drafting Rashee Rice. Rice's size and ability to make contested catches brings an element to the wide receiver room that they don't currently have. And I can only imagine how excited Coach Andy Reid is to have a player of his abilities, and I'm sure they'll have no problem fitting him into their scheme. At number 3, I have Jackson Smith-Njigba going to the Seattle Seahawks with the 20th overall pick. In all honesty, I would have Smith-Njigba higher on this list if he wasn't going to a team where he'd be slotted as the wide receiver 3. But having said that, he complements this offense tremendously. His ability to create separation and play in the slot and on the outside will benefit DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and I truly believe this is the best wide receiver trio in all of football. At number 2, I have Anthony Richardson going to the Indianapolis Colts at number 4. I think this was the best possible landing spot for Anthony Richardson, as he gets drafted to a team that has offensive talent in Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr., and an offensive-minded head coach who's literally known for the success he's had with quarterbacks. When Shane Steichen was asked about drafting a quarterback at number 4, his response was that it was about crafting a playbook that was specifically designed for the quarterback's abilities. And now with Anthony Richardson, it seems like there's endless opportunities of what that could look like. Finally, at number 1, I have Jordan Addison going to the Minnesota Vikings with the 23rd overall pick. Losing Adam Thielen to the offseason and free agency opened up a glaring need to find a wide receiver 2 that complements Justin Jefferson. In comes Jordan Addison, who will bring a very different element to his game than what Adam Thielen did, and that's pure speed. His ability to create separation and effective route running will complement Justin Jefferson perfectly, and this Minnesota Vikings offense could look scary. Heck, he might even make a mediocre Kirk Cousins look like an absolute stud. So those are my 6 most exciting offensive fits from this past draft, and let me know in the comments if you agree or if you feel like I missed anyone. Here are my 6 best defensive fits from the 2023 NFL Draft and the players I'm most excited to watch this season. Coming in at number 6, I have Brian Branch going to the Detroit Lions with the 44th overall pick. Branch showed tremendous ability to make plays on the ball during his time in Alabama and fits a huge need on this Detroit Lions secondary. After already spending this offseason signing Cameron Sutton and CJ Gardner-Johnson, adding Brian Branch to the mix will make this Lions secondary much more aggressive. At number 5, I have Kalijah Kancey going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the 19th overall pick. Look, Vita Vea is probably one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the game right now, and adding Kalijah Kancey to play next to him is a scary thought for opposing teams. Kancey has a knack for penetrating the offensive line and making plays in the backfield. Sound familiar? He has good size, strength, and athleticism for his position, and will fit perfectly alongside Vita Vea and help make this Buccaneers defensive line one of the most dominant in the game. At number 4, I have Joey Porter Jr. going to the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 32nd overall pick. Getting to carry the legacy of his father, who won a Super Bowl with the Steelers back in 2005, is something that I think Joey Porter Jr. is ready to take on. His size, physicality, and ability to play man coverage is exactly what the Pittsburgh Steelers needed in their secondary. After replacing Cameron Sutton with Patrick Peterson in the offseason, you now add Joey Porter Jr. to the secondary, and I see tremendous upside for him on this roster. At number 3, I have Felix Anudike Uzama going to the Kansas City Chiefs with the 31st overall pick. the defending champs hosted the 2023 NFL Draft and finished day one by selecting the hometown kid. After letting Frank Clark hit free agency, they find a younger, more explosive option for their defense in the hopes of defending their title. At number 2, I have Jalen Carter going to the Philadelphia Eagles with the 9th overall pick. Jalen Carter falling to the Philadelphia Eagles is bad news for every other team in the league. After signing Fletcher Cox to a 1-year extension in the offseason, they now solidify his long-term replacement in Jalen Carter. Carter is a difference maker on the defensive line and will pair nicely with Fletcher Cox, who still has a lot left in the tank. I truly believe that adding Carter to this defense will help the Eagles take another shot at winning a Super Bowl. Finally, at number 1, I have Devon Witherspoon going to the Seattle Seahawks with the 5th overall pick. I absolutely love the fit of Devon Witherspoon in this secondary, and he complements Tariq Woolen perfectly. Witherspoon can be effective in man and zone coverage, and his ability to read plays and make tackles in the open field makes him well worth the 5th overall pick. Seattle really hit big with this one, and I think their secondary might be one of the strongest in the league. So those are the 6 defensive players that I'm most excited to see coming out of this draft class based on where they got selected. Let me know if you agree in the comments below or if you feel like I missed anyone.